Speaking on the subject of delusion and illusion, people tend to speak free and easy about it nowadays. They say, yeah, it's all an illusion. It's a dream. It's the Matrix. They say, yeah, it's an illusion. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm in it. It still doesn't change the fact that I am struggling to make the proper changes in my life that will bring me happiness. And that's just it. One of the most common misunderstandings when it comes to what's referred to as spirituality is this notion that some kind of personal change is required in order to be better prepared for spiritual growth. Or that the goal of spirituality is self-improvement, transformation, or a metamorphosis into something other than what we already are. This notion in itself causes most of the problems people struggle with when seeking an awakening. The issue is that you are not that which you seek to change. It's a misidentification. The trouble is, you are not sure where the illusion starts and where the illusion ends. So the question should be asked, who are you? And what needs to be emphasized in order to self-recognize? Getting into great shape, exercising, doing lots of cardio, expanding your biceps, pecs, and glutes, losing the gut, and obtaining a six-pack, isn't it? Studying, doing research, obtaining knowledge, and building up an impressive intellect and high IQ, isn't it? Engaging in martial arts, yoga, or any other practice that promises to balance the body and the brain, isn't it? Eating vegetarian, vegan, organic, gluten-free, low carb, no carb, high protein, low fat, calorie-free, vitamin-enriched diets, isn't it? Prayer, attending religious services, rubbing beads together, reciting scripture, doing rituals, observing holy days, isn't it? Seeking to find out the truth about your external world by sifting through history, politics, symbolism, conspiracy theories, and corruption, isn't it? The moment you move beyond the seeing, you are in the wrong place. It's not an external environment. It's not a narrative. It's not a concept. It's not an object. It's not your ego, your persona, or your physical body. All of these are beyond the seeing, and are part of the passing show. So what good does it do to improve on an illusion? This is why I say self-improvement is masturbation, no matter what form it comes in. What does improved mean anyway, other than just being a subjective opinion? How would such an opinion fare in the grand scheme of the spiritual spectrum? Focusing on the seen disempowers oneself, no matter how self-improved one feels. But how does de-emphasizing the drive for extrinsic improvement help at all, right? How would such a philosophical application lend tangible utility? It wouldn't improve our bodies, our community, medicine, schools, job opportunities, family life, or our country. It makes one self-oriented, right? Seeing as how anything in the seen is a projection of the inner condition, a better way to, quote, improve these things would be found in establishing inner serenity. Inner peace brings peace to the outer. Inner health brings outer health. So, as ironic as it may seem, bringing about inner happiness is the most unselfish commitment you could make. It helps so-called other people also find inner peace. If inner tranquility is not a foundation within, no amount of external fixes or improvements will amount to any real lasting world peace. Ignoring the internal and only focusing on the external circumstance is much akin to overlooking the root cause of disease and only treating the symptoms. If one can find inner happiness, then they become some of the most selfless people in the world. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't love, care, fulfill responsibilities, or become a self-oriented individual. All it means is that one is ceasing to indulge in the desire to sustain certain circumstances or the desire to avoid certain circumstances, whatever those circumstances might be. Peace, happiness, and freedom from suffering is not found within grasping or pushing away circumstances. And the primary reason why is because circumstances constantly change. What is most present, real, and lasting is the now of awareness. The now of awareness is immune to the pleasures and pains of circumstances. It isn't awareness that is the recipient of ecstasy or suffering. These transactions take place beyond the seeing, in the array of the seen. These passing, transient, non-permanent phenomena are the stuff of illusion. And nothing that takes place within illusion can ever improve or degrade awareness. Yes, but, right? Isn't this where the yes, but comes in? that everything I'm saying may very well be the case, but it doesn't lessen the suffering. We still have to navigate our lives and wade through the pain, anguish, and discomfort. The fact that it's all illusion doesn't negate our place in it. And the philosophy I am speaking of is just a coping mechanism that only helps us to lie to ourselves and pretend that it's better than it really is, or that we are somehow above and beyond it all. Right? All of these ideas are constructed on a foundation of desire. When you keep addressing the particulars of navigating illusion with desire as your steering wheel, and the ego in the driver's seat, of course it's not going to seem very practical to think you recognize the illusion and the methods to circumvent the pitfalls by way of intellectual notations. Obtaining knowledge isn't a useful way to address the visceral, or to realize the nature of illusion. Deconstructing the conditioning of identification with a false self begins to open up the pathway to lucidity. To begin to unglue the attention from the projections of appearances allows the space for lucidity to find ground. Realizing illusion empirically is much different than learning of illusion from study. Only from the standpoint of the intellect does the goal appear to be specific desired circumstances gained and sustained through a change of being, which will also afford an individual avoidance of specific undesired circumstances. So this is why the prospect of recognizing illusion cannot be appreciated from a false identity. It's the foundation and facets of the false identity itself that is the cause of suffering, and the misframed concept that the objective is found in sifting through the illusion to find elements that will assist one in a search or change that will facilitate escaping or embracing aspects of the illusion. So, of course, the prospect of understanding illusion seems pointless because the whole notion is being appreciated based on a false premise made from a false identification. And if followed through intellectually from this framework, no, learning about illusion won't change anything. But that's just it. The aim was never to change anything. The aim was to stop awareness from attaching itself to illusion. This is where the issue of lucidity comes into play. And we'll go more into depth on that one next time.